It's the last time we played here, 2 years ago.
Yes.
3, I don't know. It was the best concert of the whole tour. So we had high expectations this time, and we added a lot of dates here.
Mm-hmm.
We had a day off, and we said no, we won't play here more. So we are very tired, but we do not regret. It was really cool.
We like the perfect way to discover the world is not being a tourist, to tour, to do. Yeah. So
actually, it's kind of the opposite, you know. With this album, we did, you know, in terms of artistically, we really did it thinking that it would reach only a niche of people, only just a few listeners, but all over the world it would be enough to be, you know, a little success. But so we did it with very pure intentions, you know. And then we had finished our contract with our record company, so we released this album on a very small label in Europe and a very small label in France too, and in America too. So we work. It's a very independent structure, you know. So it's even more free than it was before. So it's really cool that it's this album that's been done this way, very with small teams and with only pure intention. That's going well. We never could have imagined that. When we finished the record, we thought it was too bizarre for radio, too bizarre for mainstream, for sure. And we didn't care, we were happy with this idea. We've always been kind of what we are now, but this track, I remember the source, they wanted a very specific thing, they wanted something very acoustic. And with, you know, a very, almost a bossa nova feel to it. So we did exactly the opposite. We didn't really think about it, but when even more when we started, we always did the opposite of what people expected.
Sounds evolve.
This is not an artistic triumph, for sure. But we love, you know, things being recycled, like
even when it's bad.
Yeah, we love. For instance, here we love the fake merchandise. For us, it's better than the real one, you know, because you go through the filter of reality, you know, and you become part of the. We call that l'air du temps, you know, the zeitgeist, you know. So we love that, and on every album there's one little part where the drums are alone, just that we are sure that people can sample every sound, you know, and use that in their creations. Actually, I heard like hip-hop artists who used a lot of samples. It was more a mixtape kind of underground thing, but he was rapping on. T'as pas entendu ça?
Yes, I heard.
It was fun. It was funny. But we know, yeah, we recognize sometimes the sound of a snare drum or of a clap, you know. We were alone because we didn't have a record company, so the spirit was really of being isolated, you know. We've never had pressure before because we were always intelligent people. So, but the fact that we were really alone, it changed the mood, you know. We didn't know if it would be released. We did it for ourselves, really, and it lasted a long time because we wanted something that was good, and we were very courageous, I must admit that, even very late in the process. When we started, we were like that. when we released our first album, and when we played live, we were really terrible. So we were lucky enough that now that we have more exposition, we are kind of ready, you know. We've learned everything the natural way, you know. So really everything we know how to do, you know. We know how a stage should look, you know. Sometimes you see a new band and you can see that they didn't really think about everything. And we have thought about, we just had time just to perfect
we are halfway.
We are not, we are really amateur in a lot of ways.
We really can improve a lot.
But now we know what we like, you know, and we would never let anyone
decide for us.
Yeah, we know how we want to tour. We know the right people. You know, it's very hard when you begin. You know, you must find like a lighting guy. Everything is, and now we have all these people that are like a family, and we have all those instruments that we really know. But when we started, we had a very precise vision of what we were. I think that's the most striking thing when I was thinking about what we were when we were 16, that we were really snobs, you know. We knew exactly what we wanted. We knew that, you know, we had this illusion that what we had in mind was really better than anything in the period. You know, we knew that that almost all the bands around, they didn't know how to make a good drum sound, or, you know, we were really arrogant and very naive at the same time. So it was really cool. Actually, it was very cool. I don't know how it happened, but we were really friends. I met those guys from Daft Punk after. I mean, we were like 16. I saw an ad in a record shop, and I called the guy. He was looking for a band, and I wanted to create one too. And he was the only one that had influences that were, you know, very different, like the Beach Boys. Like, you know, listening to the Beach Boys at this time, you know, in France was very, very avant-garde. So, and then the guys from Air, they come from the exact same neighborhood as us. They were a little bit older, so we didn't know them, but when we met after, we recomposed the past, and we noticed that our paths crossed a lot of time. I remember being like 12, and I heard, you know, guys playing guitar in my street, and they were playing Prince songs, and that was the guys from Air. So I don't know how it happened, but it was. This period was cool, yeah.
There were very, very few musicians, but every musician now is a musician for his whole life. You know?
It's the same family, you know, it's just a bit further. It's really the same people, in a way. It's Pedro. We met him at the same period, exactly. He was there at the very beginning of Daft Punk.